episode 5 natural weed killers. Tired of applying harsh chemicals to your yard to kill weeds? Well, we thought we'd put forth some ideas on how to prevent weeds and also give you some effective weed killers that are not necessarily, that you've not necessarily thought of, and are also not harsh chemicals. Welcome to the Handyman Pros Radio Show. Home improvement and maintenance tips from the pros. Thanks for listening to another edition of the Handyman Pros Radio Show, where our goal is to help save you time, money, and aggravation on your home maintenance and repair. This edition is entitled 5 Natural Weed Killers. And to help me explain, I am here with my my old buddy, Johnny. Don't be killing any of that weed, Johnny. That's what I've got to say. Johnny, what's been going on this week?
Must have been in my attic seeing me dry out some dope.
What? What?
Well, sorry. Yeah.
Hey. Anyway, never a dull moment.
Well, never. No, it's never a dull moment. I was doing some wallboard work in my neighbor's place. Folks.
There's a story here.
Remodeling. There's a story on remodeling and it's redesigning your bathroom. So I had to follow up on some mistakes.
Yes.
That the homeowner was doing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. This is do it right the first time or pay me a lot more to do it right the second time.
It's okay. You know, they're learning. But they're like, yeah, you see the mess we made, can you fix it?
Hey, at least they admitted it.
yeah, I can fix it.
At least they admitted that it was a mess, right? At least they admitted it.
I can
and that's
fix
okay.
it.
We can live with that.
Yeah, I mean anything can be
it's
fixed.
Just money. It's just money. That's all.
Money.
All right. Before we get started, Johnny, let's have everybody like and subscribe to our channels, both on YouTube and or on whichever podcast player you happen to be listening to. It really helps us get the word out. That's what we're trying to do. If you would, send a link around. If you like this show, if you find this show valuable, let your friends that might be in a similar situation to you, let them know about it so that they can listen to and have as much fun as Johnny and I sitting around a bar talking about home improvement. So, Johnny.
Yeah, and I just to add to all that, thanks for the comments, folks. I see their comments coming through. I haven't answered some of them. Some of them I have, so really appreciate. We've got a number of 5-star reviews on Apple, which is great. Just keep them coming, please.
Yeah.
So.
We really appreciate it. Really, really, really big deal. And as you can tell, we make exactly no money on this gig, but that's okay.
That's right. No money.
So with that. Anyway, so I got onto a thing, actually. I do a lot of reading, obviously, every day, and I came up on this article that was about 5 ways to do natural weed killers that are some things that they make sense, but I'd never tried them, so I've given them a try now, and I know they actually work. So these are more natural ways. This is instead of using, some kind of chemical product that you're buying from Monsanto or somebody else. These are things that you can make at home, and they're really, really simple. So I thought I'd start this one off. Johnny's just going to kind of chime in whenever he's got a question. But the first one is to take homemade vinegar. It's a homemade vinegar solution. You basically take about 10 to 20% vinegar, which is kind of the industrial strength vinegar. So you kind of have to look for that. It needs to be pretty solid. And what it does is it rapidly breaks down foliage on contact. You take that and a little surfactant. What's surfactant, Johnny? What's our favorite one? Put a little Dawn in there. Yeah, the soap helps to keep the product on the plants. Actually, it helps to stay on the contact longer. But you spray that on, and it will kill the plants. Now you might need to reapply it after 5 to 6 weeks, but it works pretty good. I was really pretty impressed. Couple of things to be aware of. It is like Roundup. Whatever it touches, it will, start working on as far as plants go. And you probably don't want to bathe in it either because it'll, it's a mild acid is what it is. It's a mild acid, but it's a mild acid like anything, don't soak your dentures in Coca-Cola either. You'd probably have a pretty tough time of it. So what do you need to make this stuff? You need a gallon of industrial vinegar. household vinegar works, just double the amount is what it is. 4 tablespoons of the surfactant, basically. So if you're going to do a gallon, plus put quite a bit of the soap in there to make sure it stays on. And then find the weeds, spray it on, apply it on a sunny day, just like you would with the chemical products that you're buying at the big box store. And then after 5 or 6 weeks, just apply. And I did this, and it actually works really, really quite well, John. I was pretty impressed.
Yeah, so you can, if you're looking for natural stuff, the vinegar, this strength vinegar, I've seen it at the big box stores. Yep. It's rather a little pricey over your regular vinegar for sure.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, but it's all natural. And hey, if you've got a lot of kids and animals running around, try this out. I'm going to try it out. Because I just, I at this point, so listen, it's fall. It's going to be fall. It's not quite fall yet, but I'd like to get rid of a bunch of stuff before I replant. And I don't know, Larry, if it's probably is just contact stuff. It's not going to get into the soil and do. So it's not going to do what a Roundup might do, or some of the others that get into the soil, so that I could get rid of a bunch of stuff and then replant without worrying about the new seeds and stuff getting destroyed.
Yeah, and the other side to remember with this is that every time it rains, anything that you do overspray is going to it will dilute it out and dilute it out and dilute it out, and so that's how it works. It doesn't stay. It's not a forever chemical. It is a natural product, and eventually the earth just reclaims it. It'll bond with even just the dirt. The acid in the thing will bond with the dirt. Vinegar has been used for cleaning forever. I mean, really, it works, and you could probably use this in the house. I'd be a little careful because it's a pretty strong solution. But you got some stuck-on grease and stuff on your pan, I'd say pour this stuff on there. Trust me, it'll grind it up and chew it up and take it up, take it away as well. So, because I've seen very similar formulas to this used on some of the cleaning forums that I've read. Not that I spend a lot of time on that, but they come up in some of my feeds. So, kind of interesting. It's just a little alternative, and it does work. It works really well. Similarly, you can actually use rubbing alcohol as well. Same thing. It's about 70% solution of rubbing alcohol. Add it to water. Add that to a quart of water. 2 tablespoons of rubbing alcohol, a quart of water. You can put a little surfactant on it or not. How this works is it dries out the plant is what it does. So when you spray the rubbing alcohol on, just like basically yourself, it evaporates so rapidly that it dries the plant out. You want to do it again on a sunny day. It will wash away after a while. This is another indiscriminate killer. It'll kill everything that it touches. So you just be aware. Be aware on that. So,
haven't tried that.
Yeah, I have not tried that one yet. I will try that one again here in the future.
That brings up a point. Anybody out there that's used like these natural formulas and stuff, send us some comments on
questions
that.
at Handyman Pro.
Let us know what you guys use if you're doing this.
Let us know how it works for you. Because I think it's pretty good. Now this one I have used. This next one I have used. I've used it in. How do I want to say this? Not on purpose. I've done it for reasons of getting rid of my pot of boiling water, and that is pour boiling water on your weeds. If you pour boiling water on the weeds, it will kill them. Now, I made the stupid mistake of I was boiling I can't remember if it was a low country boil or whatever it was, but I poured the whole hot pot of hot water out on the lawn, and what did I end up with? A great big section of my lawn that was dead. It works.
It's probably from your cooking.
Well, that's different issue, but whatever. But boiling water defoliates plants on contact. I mean, it does too. It's just like hey, if you pour boiling water on yourself, it'll defoliate you as well.
Oh yeah, guy.
So again, with these things, with any of these things that we're using, make sure you use caution, right? So be careful using boiling water. It is hot. It will, you can get burned, and be careful when you're transporting that boiling water as well. So don't trip and fall.
Yeah, I kind of like the other two solutions right up on top of this one before you get to the next one. But all these are great for like your garden and stuff or around it.
Yeah.
You don't want, if you can avoid having chemicals in there and stuff like that, it's just, makes it, kind of eases your mind, right? It's not getting into anything.
Well, sadly, if you look at in the modern world, we all have Roundup in us, all of us at this point in the United States. I'll phrase that. In the United States, we have Roundup in us, or that type of, I can't remember the name of it. That's not Roundup, not the brand name. But anyway, we have it in us it's used in agriculture a lot, and it has some, well, we don't know what the effects of it are. Let's just leave it at that. We really don't know what the effects of it are yet. And so,
all these things leach into the food supply.
They're in the food supply.
Yeah, and that's the issue, and if you can do it around your house, especially when you have little kids and stuff,
and your pets,
the vinegar thing or the alcohol,
right?
Those are great suggestions for for getting, especially, I mean, I've got all kinds of weeds and stuff growing around, like my the sidewalk and things like that. And
we'll get you. These next two work really well on the sidewalk.
Oh, right? Yeah, guy. I know.
Yeah. So the next one is get a propane burner, right? So I don't know if you've ever seen one, but they're like a kind of a wand. Basically,
yeah, the big torch.
Propane tank. Yeah, it's a big torch, and you just go in and just on your walks and stuff, man, you just burn the weeds out. And they work really well.
Yeah,
they work really. I've used those.
Yeah, you don't have to wait.
No. Yeah, right. Just as I say, words of caution. Don't set your house on fire or yourself or your dog or anything, because it's a propane torch is really what it is.
Yeah.
And they work great. Corollary, the other things you can use it for, great for starting a fire pit.
Yeah.
Really good for starting a fire pit.
So, screw the old way about trying to roll up paper, with the Boy Scout stuff, just go right.
I'll get it burned.
Yeah, just pour the
battery powered blower.
Yeah,
I'll get it burned.
Yeah.
So
remember the old days when you could get away with all that stuff, pouring gasoline on that until they,
until you blew yourself up. I used to have eyebrows.
Yeah, the good old days of doing all that kind of stuff like that.
God, I wish that was a joke. But yeah, I used to have eyebrows. I do now, folks. But there was one time I did that. I said I was burning something with gasoline, and as I touched it off, it freaking singed the hell out of my face and cut my eyebrows off. Burnt my eyebrows off. Damn. Last time, I think that was the last time I did it. I thought I touched off a bomb. I mean, holy smokes, that was crazy. Anyway, and number 5. Johnny, number 5.
Do it yourself, right?
Pull the damn weeds with your hands, or get a little weed.
The problem, the problem with that is that, especially with things like dandelions and stuff, you go ahead and do that, but the roots go down another foot and they come right back.
Well, I mean, we understand that.
Yeah, to get them out, if you want to get out and get a little exercise.
Yeah, this is the healthcare program.
If you want to get out,
things that are good for your health, your heart, your health.
Get dirt on your knees and everything, and you want to crawl around out in the garden and pull weeds by, have at it.
Have a blast. So I thought while we were on this topic, and we don't talk much in the way of gardening, but these are some simple things. How do you prevent weeds? So we need to add, some of the weed prevention things too. One is, if you're doing around beds and stuff, landscape fabric does work. Now it's not 100% foolproof, because it will grow up through it given enough time, but it does make it it works really
it works
well.
Good.
Works really, really well. And then the old famous mulches, depending on where you are, you can use wood mulch, or you can use, here in the South, we use pine straw. But keeping things mulch will reduce the amount of weeds that you have out. It's just a natural fact. It's how plants grow and all that good groovy stuff. Some of the other things that are advantageous, like pine straw, for example, has a natural ability to deter bugs. Why that does it, I don't know, but I know that you just don't get a lot of creepy crawlies in pine straw. So in that sense, it has a benefit. Wood mulch here in the South, most people don't use it because it attracts termites. And why you would bring termites right up next to your house, I have no idea. But
I had wood mulch around my house, and it had that what's known as shotgun fungi in it.
Yeah, and then you get fungi.
And that
in
stuff,
the South, you get fungi.
And that stuff would, that'll shoot like 30 meters, man. I mean, And it's like crazy glue.
Yeah.
Little dots, and it got all over my car. I couldn't get it off my car finish.
Yep.
It just had to wear off like over a year. What a mess.
Those are southern areas not in full sun, like your house, John. When you're not in full sun, that stuff grows really well in there. But anyway, keeping your things mulched will do that. And there's a million different kinds of mulches. There's even old tires that get chewed up into mulching colored stuff, and even that'll work. It's a good reuse of some of the other things. And then ground covers also are another way to keep weeds out. We have this natural weed that grows in the shady part of our yard. That's I don't know what it is. I've not yet really cared to figure it out.
Take a picture of it with your iPhone, and the iPhone will tell you. Folks, if you don't know that, you take a picture of something like a weed or a plant or even a dog, it'll come back, and it'll go through the internet and try to identify it.
Yep. But there's lots of ground covers. There's lots of ground covers that cover, and it, it's just kind of a natural way. This stuff that grows in my backyard, I don't know what it is, but I don't care. It grows to be about 4 or 5 inches tall. That's it. Never gets any taller. Lives in the shade, which is great. Covers the dirt up, puts nutrients back in the soil. I don't care. It looks good. I don't have to cut it. Perfect. It's like perfect. So good ground covers also. That's another great way to avoid having weeds. Anyway, all right, Johnny, you got anything that you do that works for you?
No, not that we haven't talked about. I think next time I'm due to redo some of the plant areas in and around my house. And one thing that didn't do last time was put in the fabric. And I really wish I would have. All you folks out there, you can send me tips on that kind of stuff, because the amount of weeds and the trees that try to plant themselves there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The seeds come down. It's like a total.
It's not so much fun.
Hit show with an S. So it's tough, and I have to wait for everything to die before I can pull them out and cut this down, cut that down, and I really don't want to use a weed killer on them, because I might hit my other plants.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're perennials.
Perennials, yeah.
So what a mess. I'm gonna bite the bullet and just do the whole thing again. So
the fun never stops.
Well, yeah, that's part of being the homeowner, right? One day you're out gardening, the next day you're doing wallboard, the next day you're painting, and then you sit down to have a drink, and now there's a plumbing problem that pops up somewhere. Jeez,
it never fails. Hey, Johnny, what do you think the aliens do in the spaceship to keep the weeds down? What do they do?
What do the aliens do to keep the weeds down?
Yeah,
man, that's a good question, Larry.
I don't know. I've never seen one when I've been abducted.
What do you think they do?
You tell me.
They have their own formula that they use, or
it's got to be, and I'll bet it's not natural. So there you go.
It's probably got a light at the end of it too, huh?
Johnny, come on.
We're gonna check. We're gonna check the weeds.
All right, folks. If you
that's what they told Larry they call it.
Oh, Johnny. Hey, all right, folks.
Larry.
This has gotten out of control. If you like us, please like and subscribe our channels, both YouTube and what channel you're on. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, questions at Handyman Pros Radio Show. Johnny, take it.
Hey, it's a good time to think about getting rid of some of those weeds. Before the fall hits, and do some replanting and things like that. So take care of the outside of your house, folks. Really does. It pays off. We really appreciate you listening to the Handyman Pros Radio Show. We'll see you next time.